Hey, it's Adrian. Today I'm taking a look at these Edifier W240TN Bluetooth headphones. So these have active noise cancellation and they come in at around $80 US. So I'm going to share my experience with the sound performance, comfort, battery life, and you can decide if these are worth picking up for you. Before I get started, Edifier did send this review sample out to me, but you're going to be getting my uninfluenced thoughts in this review. In the package, we have the Bluetooth earbuds in the charging case, an extra set of small, medium, and large ear tips. So you have two sets of medium ear tips, a Type-C charging cable, and an instruction manual. Design-wise, these things, they just look amazing to me. I think these are the best looking earbuds that I've seen so far. So you have this glossy plastic here now. My fingers are usually oily, but it's not showing up on the white, I guess because it's white. Now, the top part, that's really where it really does shine. So you have this type of matte silver here, and you can see as I angulate it and the light hits it, that looks really nice. Now, my most favorite thing about this design is that this is an actual button that you could press. There's no swiping motions or gestures. There's no light taps. It's an actual physical tap in. And I really love that. I really appreciate that, because lots of times when maybe you're adjusting your glasses or moving hair out of the way, or you're just near your ear, you mistakenly tap this and it plays your music, skips tracks, whatever. Quite annoying. So it's so refreshing to see an actual physical button on these. But overall, these don't look overly big. They come in at 6 grams, so they're not very heavy, and they're just nice looking earbuds. So they're definitely not low profile, and you can see that when I have them in my ear, but they feel secure in my ear and not like they're gonna fall out. So there's a few microphones around here for just voice calls and active noise cancellation. You have the metal charging contacts there. I'm also really digging the look of the charging case. So you can see right at the top, you have the Edifier logo just embossed there. Now at the back you have a Type-C port, and you also have a button, and this you can press and hold just to reset any type of pairing. You also have some information at the bottom about charging capacities. Now, when I open it, you can see it has this really nice, cool white LED that just perfectly fits with the overall look of this. Now the earbuds, these are magnetically held in place, so you can see they just snap right in. So left and right, they can only go in one way. And they're really easy to take out, because the top portion here, because it protrudes so much higher out of the case, it's so easy to just grab these and put them back in. I know with some other type of designs, because they're more low profile, it's kind of annoying to get them out. In terms of specs, so each of these earbuds comes with dual drivers. So there's a 10mm and 6mm driver, which produce excellent bass. They also come in at 6 grams each, so they're pretty lightweight. Now the ANC on these works pretty good, and it cuts background noise by up to 38 decibels. Battery life is pretty good with these as well. So you have 8 hours of battery life without ANC and 7 hours with ANC. These are running Bluetooth 5.3, so you can expect pretty low latency, and the codec is SBC. The range is rated for 10 meters or about 32 feet, but I was actually able to test that at around 40 feet, clear line of sight, with no issues. These have an IP55 rating, so they're water and sweat resistant and also dust resistant. You have normal sound modes, active noise cancellation, and an ambient mode, and unfortunately there's no multi-point Bluetooth connection. Now I've connected the earbuds to my S22 Ultra, but I wanted to showcase on the Z Fold 4 the app settings, because this is really crucial. So when this window pops up here, go to your settings and make sure that this option appear on top, set that to allow permission. If you don't do that, you'll be able to pair by Bluetooth, but the app won't be able to connect to the earbud. So please make sure that appear on top is selected. So you can see it shows connected now. Now that the earbuds are connected, you can see in the app it shows the battery percentages for each earbud. In the app, you can see you have options to turn noise cancellation off, have it on, or go to ambient sound, and you can adjust the level that you like. I find the middle level is pretty good. Now you can see if I go over here, here are the equalizers. So there's classic, which is the default, dynamic, which is what I recommend that you listen to this on. Now you can go into customize and set it however you like and then just save it. You also have the option to turn on game mode if you don't want to have any type of latency issues, but even with game mode off, I was able to game perfectly fine. Going into the settings at the top right here, so there's a user manual. Now let's go into control settings, and you can see there's two tabs there, so call mode and call mode inactive. So we'll go into inactive, and you can see if you double press, you have options to go to the next track. If you triple press, you can go to the previous track, or you can set those volume up, down, voice assistant, whatever you like. Now, the press and hold setting, this is very useful because you can see if you press and hold, you're going to toggle between noise cancellation, ambient noise or ambient sound, and noise cancellation off. Now, if you know specifically that all you're ever going to need is noise cancellation and ambient, then you can just cycle through between those two modes. So that's pretty handy that you have the ability to change the cycle order or cycle amount. And then if you don't want to be able to cycle through, you can just switch it there. Also very handy is that you right from the pull down menu, you have access to all of these settings very easily. Now, if we take a look at call mode active, you can see that you have options to double press to mute, unmute a call, reject, and you also have the same type of options for triple press and press and hold. One thing that's missing from both of these modes is the single tap. That just seems to be locked. So single tap always pauses or plays music. There's no option in here to change single tap to do volume up and volume down, for example. Let's talk about sound performance, which is really the most important thing when it comes to these. And these do not disappoint. However, I will say that when you take them out and you pair them for the first time, the default equalizer, it's decent, but I feel like something is lacking. So I did download the app, and in the app you do have the option to pick another equalizer, which is the dynamic mode, and you also can set like custom equalizers. But I highly recommend download the app and set it to the dynamic equalizer mode. It makes a world of difference when you're listening to music. But yeah, the sound is full sounding. There's deep bass, it really does thump, and I do like to listen to a lot of bass heavy stuff. If you've watched my other reviews on earbuds and headphones, that's usually my preference. Now, even though it has amazing bass, you're not going to be disappointed. The vocals still come through really well, they're not overpowered. It's still really clean, really crisp vocals. So you can listen to a variety of different types of music and you're going to be satisfied with the sound coming out of these. Usually when I wear earbuds or earphones, I usually listen to volume on the higher end. So I'm usually like, 80, 90%, rarely at 100. Now with these, I usually find myself listening to, I would say around the 80 to 90% range. And if I go to 100, I can still manage it. And you know how when you listen to different songs, sometimes, one is a little bit lower than the other, so you may crank it to the max. So I tried a bunch of different songs, and even at 100, I could comfortably listen to these. And I have used other earphones or earbuds, where they get really loud. Now, these don't get very loud, but they're suitably loud enough that, you'll still be happy with them. And if someone's talking or you have ambient noise going on in the background, it's still loud enough to drown that out, even if you don't have active noise cancellation turned on. I did use these on a couple of calls and I was able to carry on a conversation, so you're gonna have no problems with just basic calls. I also did a test outside. All right, here's a quick mic test. So I'm outside. It's kind of windy, fairly windy, like I'd say light to medium wind. And there's just, some trucks, cars driving by just on these side streets here, but here's an example of what you can expect. I did use these for Call of Duty mobile gaming, and in the app, the Edifier app, there's an option to turn on game mode, which is going to offer you very low latency. And even with game mode off, I didn't find any type of sound delays or desync type of issues. And I also watched videos, listened to music, and lip movements that perfectly match with the sound. There's 3 sound modes. So there's the normal mode, active noise cancellation mode, and ambient mode, so you can carry on a conversation. Now, in active noise cancellation, there's no adjustability, so you can't change like the strength of the active noise cancellation, but in general, it works well. So if I'm like outside and I'm listening to music, I'm not hearing much of like the ambient noise outside, but again, I do listen to my music at around 70, 80, 90% volume, and it's a pretty secure fit in here in my ears. So I actually find that I can listen a lot of the times without ANC on this, and that helps with my battery life. When it comes to the ambient mode, so when you toggle that option, you have options to leave it on the medium setting or an aggressive or weaker setting. But one thing to note is that when you activate that mode, it doesn't automatically reduce the volume of whatever you're listening to. So since I listen to music pretty loud, I still find myself having to manually reduce the volume to be able to carry on a conversation, or I'll just tap the earbud to pause it and carry on the conversation. When you're switching between sound modes, so like ambient, normal, ANC, or you're switching between equalizer, classical, dynamic, or custom, the music will cut out and you'll hear a voiceover telling you whichever mode you're in, then the music resumes playing. So maybe not a big deal for you, but I know for some people, it kind of distracts from the music listening experience. But what I will say is that, once you have those things dialed in, so like for me personally, I'm gonna have it on dynamic all the time, and I'll probably run it without ANC because I haven't found that I really need ANC for my type of listening environments. When I'm adjusting the volume, like on other earbuds, when you reach the maximum volume, like the music will cut out or you'll hear like a beep or a voiceover. And with these, when you reach maximum volume, there's nothing to let you know. And I actually prefer that because if I'm cranking it up to the maximum volume, nothing is gonna cut out in terms of what I'm listening to on the music. So again, once you have your settings dialed in, it's not really an issue. Battery life has been excellent on these so far. So without ANC, you can expect to get between 8 to 8.5 hours of playback, and then with ANC, it's about 7 hours. And based on my usage today, it looks like that's gonna be pretty accurate. Now, once you factor in the charging case, you can get 25 hours in total without ANC, or 21 hours with ANC. When you charge these, the LED stays fully lit, and then when it's fully charged, the LED goes out, so right at a glance you can tell that it's done. The case has a 500 milliamp hour capacity, and the earbuds are 70 milliamp hours each. If you're in a pinch, a quick 10-minute charge in the case is gonna get you 2 hours of playback. Now, if you want to charge these fully, then you'll need to leave it in the case for 1 hour, and once the case gets depleted, 1.5 hours is going to get you back to 100%. No product is perfect, and these are no exception. I mean, they do tick a lot of boxes, but there's two features that I really wish that they had. Well, one really, which is Bluetooth multi-point connection. I'm someone who likes to have my earbuds paired with my phone and my laptop, so that way I can just switch really quickly between devices. And I can't do that with these right now. Hopefully it's something that is added in a newer model. The other thing that would be nice is wireless charging. Not a deal breaker for me because I'm used to plugging in a lot of stuff. So can I recommend the Edifier W240TN wireless earbuds? And honestly, this is a really easy recommendation for me to make because even before Edifier contacted me, I have used their products in the past, so I was pretty excited to try this because I kind of knew what to expect sound-wise. I've never been disappointed with how their products sound, and the price that I pay is really good, and it's actually better than brands that cost, double or triple what this costs, and these come just as close in terms of sound quality with the other brands, and in some cases it actually exceeds what those sound like. So if this is a brand you've thought about trying before, definitely go ahead and check these out. If you're interested in picking these up, I'm going to leave some links in the description down below. So I got the white version, it also comes in black. But I really want you guys to come back to this video if you do end up buying these. Let me know what you think about the sound because I want to know if I'm making a good recommendation to you guys, or if you think that there's other options out there that sound better or sound just as good for less. I'm genuinely curious to hear if you guys are on the same page with me in terms of the sound quality. Now, I have reviewed these Samsung Buds 2 Pro. You can check that video out here. Those come in at around 230 US, so they're about 3 times more expensive than this. And yes, the sound on the Samsung is a little bit louder, a little bit better. But honestly, if I had to choose, if I was spending money and I had to choose between the Edifiers or the Samsungs, one, I like the look of these way more than the Samsung earbuds. 2, I like that these have a physical button versus, mistakenly touching the earbuds. I can't stress that enough. 3, these have much better battery life than on the Samsung. Now, the Samsung may have some other extra features like their voice detect and whatever, but at the end of the day, I just care about sound quality. And this, for what these cost, and the sound coming out of these, you can't go wrong. If you guys found this video helpful, as usual, please consider liking and subscribing. I'm always doing these type of videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.